Good morning, students. Say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Yeah, good. Come to page number 154. Today we will start with the geography. So in our previous class we have completed the third unit in history, so World War II. So hope you have no doubt in that lesson. Yeah, good. So if any doubt means, so clarify with me. Yeah. So in today's class we will move to the third lesson in geography, India agriculture. So what we have learned in previous two lessons in geography? Yeah, in first lesson we discussed about the physical features of India, so physiography of India. Yeah, so physiography of India. Then in second lesson we discussed about the climate and also the forest and wildlife, so natural vegetation of India. So can you remember that? Yeah. Okay, so in today's class we will discuss about the agriculture of India. Yes, agriculture, then related topics of agriculture in India. Yeah, so first lesson we discussed the physiography of India. Then in second lesson we discussed the climate, so the various factors affect the climate. Then the seasons, so the monsoon of India. Yeah, so the four seasons of India. Then we discussed about the natural vegetation, that is the types of forest in India, and also the wildlife. Yeah, so the wildlife sanctuaries and the national parks in India discussed in our previous class. Okay, so today we will discuss about the agriculture. So you know agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. So more than 50% of the people, so till now, of India are practicing agriculture only, agriculture and agriculture related works. Okay, so more than 50% of the people still depends on agriculture. Okay, so we will discuss about agriculture in third unit. So learning objectives. So what are you going to learn from this lesson? So first you will learn about the soil and its different types and its distribution. Yes, different types of soil and distribution in India. Then second one, you know about the irrigation and multi-purpose project of India. Yeah, so second one you will learn about the irrigation and multi-purpose project. Then third one you learn about agriculture, its types and its importance. Yeah, so the types of agriculture practiced in India and also its importance. Then fourth one you learn about livestock and fishing resources of India. So livestock. Yeah, so you learn about livestock and fishing resources. Then finally about the problems faced by the Indian farmers. Okay, wow. So what are you going to learn from this lesson means, first you will learn about the different types of soil and distribution in India. Second one, the importance of irrigation. Yes, irrigation, because agriculture need irrigation. Okay, so for that we constructed a lot of dams. Yes, a multi-purpose project, so you will learn about it. Then you will learn about the types of agriculture and its importance. Yes, agriculture is practiced in different way, so what are the different types you will learn. Then the livestock and fishing resources of India. Yeah, so livestock, you know what do you mean by livestock? So nothing but rearing of animals, so like cattle, goats, buffaloes. Okay, so you learn about livestock and fishing resources, and also the problems faced by the farmers of India. Okay, so learning objectives. First, to understand the nature of India's soil types and their distribution. Yeah, so to understand the nature of India's soil type, so what are the different types of soil in India and their distribution, in which states so they were distributed. Yeah, so where they were distributed. Yeah. Then to know about the importance of irrigation. So irrigation means artificial method of supplying water to the plants, and also the multi-purpose project of India. Yeah, so to know about the importance of irrigation and multi-purpose project in India. Then to study about the agriculture, its types and importance. Yeah, so the different types of agriculture, so that were practiced in India, and also different types of crops cultivated in India. So food crops, cash crops, you learned already in your lower classes now. Yeah, you will learn about that also. Then to understand the livestock and fishing resources of India. Yeah. So apart from agriculture, so planting trees, so rearing of animals and fishing is also related with agriculture only. Yeah. So rearing of animals also related with agriculture only. So livestock and fishing resources of India. Yeah. So they are also primary workers only. Then to comprehend the problems of farming in India. That is to understand the problems faced by the Indian farmers. Yeah, so the major issues faced by the farmers in India. Okay. So introduction. So first soil. So soil is one of the most important natural resources. Yeah, so soil is one of the most important natural resources and it is a abundant resources. Yeah, so you can get soil in abundant. Yeah. India's varied natural environment resulted in a great variety of soils compared to any other country of similar size in the world. Yes, if you take any country so which was similar to the size of India, you can't find a variety of soil as like that of India. Yeah, so because India's natural environment is vary. Yeah, so you can see very hot climate and also you can see very cold climate, moderate climate. Yeah, so if you go to Himalayas, you can face very cold climate. At the same time, if you came to Rajasthan, Thar desert, you can face a very hot desert. Yeah, and also you can see mountainous region, you can see plains, you can see valleys. So already you learned in your first lesson in geography. Yeah, so because of this very natural environment, so it resulted in a great variety of soils. Yeah, so India had a great variety of soils when compared to any other country of similar size in the world. So the rich, deep and fertile soil support high density of population through agriculture prosperity. Yeah. So India, though she was very small in size when compared to China and many other countries, her population is more. Yeah, so her population is more. So India ranks second in population. Yeah. So how it possible? Yeah, because of the rich, deep and fertile soil that support agriculture. Yeah, so rich, deep and fertile soil that is, support agriculture, which provide food for the whole huge population. Yeah. So if you take China, she is very first in population. But if you take area wise, so China is very big when compared to India. Yeah, so China is big when compared to India. Yeah. But if you take India, the area of India is small when compared to China. But she support the huge population. How means? So because of the fertile soil. So agriculture is possible. So in India, so agriculture prosperity supports Indian high population. So define soil. So soil is the uppermost layer of the land surface. Okay, so soil is the uppermost layer. Then what was seen beneath the soil? Yeah, rock surfaces. So already you know. So below that rock surfaces, then molten rock. So crust, mantle, core. So you learned in your 9th standard now. So crust, mantle, core. Yeah. So the upper layer of the earth. So that is the upper layer of the crust is the land surface made of soil only. Yeah. So soil usually composed of minerals, organic matter, living organisms, air and water. Yeah. So what was seen in soil? Nothing but. So soil is composed of minerals, organic matter, living organism, air and water. So grains in the soil are of 3 categories. That is the texture. So the size of the soil. So based on the size of the soil, so soil was classified into 3 categories. Yeah, so grains in the soil are of 3 categories, namely clay, silt and sand. Yeah, so based on the texture, so based on the grains in the soil, so was classified as 3 categories. So clay, silt and sand. So soils are generally formed by the weathering of rocks under different conditions. Yeah, so how soils are formed? So soils are generally formed by the weathering of rocks, so under different conditions, maybe physical condition or chemical or biological condition. So some soils are formed by the deposition of agents of denudation. So denudation means process that causes wearing away of earth surface by natural agents. So process that causes the wearing away of earth surfaces by natural agents. So soils can vary greatly from one region to other. So soils can vary. So soils may be different. So from one region to other. So soil is the uppermost layer of the land surface, composed of minerals, organic matter, living organisms, air and water. So grains in the soil are of 3 categories, namely clay, silt and sand. So the grains in the soil are of 3 categories, namely clay, silt and sand. Soils are generally formed by the weathering of rocks under different conditions. So some soils are formed by the deposition of agents of denudation, and soils can vary greatly from one region to other. Yes, if you take some soil in particular area means it is very soft. Yeah, so the size of the soil is very small. But if you take in some other region, so maybe the size difference. Yeah, so that's why. So the grains in the soil are of three categories. Yeah, so some region, if you take the soil means very soft. Yeah, and the texture of the soil is very small now. But if you take in some other region, some difference may you see. Yeah, so the size of the soil may vary in size. Yeah, so that's why they say, so the grains in the soil are of three categories. Okay, so clay, silt and sand. So how many types of soils are there in India? Yeah, there are 8 types of soil in India. Yeah, so the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, so shortly called as ICAR. Yeah, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, so shortly called as ICAR, so which was set up in the year 1953. Yeah, so ICAR was set up in the year 1953, divides the soils of India into 8 major groups. Okay, so Indian Council of Agriculture Research, set up in 1953, divides the soils of India into 8 major groups. What are they? Alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshy soil. Okay, so ICAR, which was set up in the year 1953, has divided the soils of India into 8 major groups. So they are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshy soil. Okay. So we will discuss about the characteristics, distribution and the crops grow in each soil in detail. Okay, so we'll discuss about the characteristics of the soil, each soil, and the distribution of the soil and the crops so grown in each soil. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. So each soil one by one. So alluvial soil, so characteristics. So alluvial soil, so it is seen in the river beds. So mostly seen in the river beds, and also they are highly fertile soil, alluvial soil. So based on their formation was divided into 2 types. So Ghadar and Bangar. So Ghadar means newer alluvium, Bangar means older alluvium. So Ghadar, newer alluvium. So they are light colored and more siliceous. So siliceous means they are rich in silica. So alluvial soil. So they were classified as newer alluvium and older alluvium. So newer alluvium was called as Ghadar, which is light colored and more siliceous. Bangar, the older alluvium, composed of lime nodules. So composed of lime nodules, and it has clayey composition. So they are clayey. So clay means so some water mixed with soil, so form like a clay. So clayey composition, and it is dark in color. So Ghadar is light in color, Bangar is dark in color. So formation. So how it was formed? So the sediments deposited by the streams and rivers when they slowly lose. So the sediments deposited by the streams and rivers when they slowly lose. So the sediments deposited on the banks of rivers, so forms the alluvial soil. Then the chemical properties of alluvial soil. So they are rich in potash, phosphoric acid, lime and carbon compounds, but they are poor in nitrogen. So alluvial soil chemical properties, they are rich in potash, phosphoric acid, lime. So that's why we say the lime nodules, composed of lime nodules, lime and carbon compounds, but poor in nitrogen. So they have less amount of nitrogen. Then the nature, so they were sandy. So sometimes they may be sandy, they may be loam. Okay, so that is loam means equal proportion of silt and clay. So silt and clay. So silt means sand and clay carried away by running water and deposited in the sediment in channels or harbors. Okay, so nature, so sandy or sometimes maybe loam or sometimes silt or sometimes clay. So profile shows no marked differentiation. So their profile so shows no marked differentiation. There is no much differentiation in their size. Okay, so distribution, where you can find alluvial soil? Ganga and Brahmaputra river valley, plains of Uttar Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal, and Bihar, and river mouth of east coast. Okay, so so most of the Indian rivers that drains into Bay of Bengal. So in the east coast. Okay, so that's why you can see in the coastal region. Yes, in the river coast, you can see the alluvial soil. Yes, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra river valley, plains of Uttar Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal, and Bihar, and the river mouth of east coast. Okay, then what type of crops grow well in alluvial soil? Yeah, since water is more here, so the crops like rice, wheat, sugarcane, and oil seeds grow well in alluvial soil. Okay, so the crops like rice, wheat, sugarcane, and oil seeds grow well in alluvial soil. Then the black soil. So first one, alluvial soil. So it was formed by the sediments deposited by the running water when they slowly flow. Then their chemical property rich in potash, phosphoric acid, and poor in nitrogen. Then we discussed the distribution. So where it is distributed. So mostly in the Ganga, Brahmaputra river valleys, and the crops grown was rice, wheat, sugarcane. Then black soil. So formation, how it was formed? So it was derived from the basalt of Deccan Trap. Yes, it was formed from the Deccan region. Basalt rock. So basalt, a type of igneous rock. So formation derived from basalts of Deccan Trap. So black soil mostly found in the Deccan region. So color. So name itself indicate it is black in color. Why it is black in color? Because due to the presence of titanium and iron. Yes, due to the presence of titanium and iron, it is black in color. The chemical properties. So which mineral is rich and which is in least? So black soil so consists of calcium and magnesium carbonate, high quantities of iron, aluminium, lime, and magnesia. So black soil consists of calcium and magnesium carbonate, high quantities of iron, aluminium, lime, and magnesia. It is rich in potash, lime, aluminium, calcium, and magnesium. So it is rich in potash, lime, aluminium, calcium, and magnesium, but poor in nitrogen, phosphoric acid, and humus. So already we discussed alluvial soil is also poor in nitrogen. So here black soil is also poor in nitrogen. So black soil is poor in nitrogen, phosphoric acid, and humus. Okay, so chemical properties so consist of calcium and magnesium carbonate, high quantities of iron, aluminium, lime, and magnesia. So black soil is rich in potash, lime, aluminium, calcium, and magnesium, but poor in nitrogen, phosphoric acid, and humus. So nature. So the nature of the soil, it is sticky when wet. Yes, it is sticky. So sticky means, what do you mean by sticky? So substance that attach with other substance easily. So sticky when wet. So black soil is sticky when wet. So high degree of moisture retentivity. So retentivity means ability of substance to retain the past thing. So ability of the substance that retain moisture. So the black soil can retain moisture in high degree. So where you can see black soil? So black soil distributed in Maharashtra, Malwa Plateau, Kathiawar Peninsula, Telangana, and Rayalaseema region of Andhra Pradesh and northern part of Karnataka. Okay, so black soil is found in Maharashtra, Malwa Plateau, Kathiawar Peninsula, Telangana, and Rayalaseema region of Andhra Pradesh and northern part of Karnataka. So the crops grown. So what are the crops grown in black soil? Cotton, millets, tobacco, sugarcane. Yes, in black soil, cotton, millets, tobacco, and sugarcane grow well. So black soil, so formed from basalts of Deccan Trap. The color is black due to the presence of iron and titanium. Then the chemical properties, so consist of calcium, magnesium carbonate, high quantities of iron, etc. Rich in potash, lime, aluminium, calcium, but poor in nitrogen, phosphoric acid. So it's nature, so sticky when wet. So where it distributed? So where you can found black soil in India? Maharashtra, Malwa Plateau, Kathiawar Peninsula, Telangana, Rayalaseema, and northern part of Karnataka. So the crops grown here are cotton, millets, tobacco, and sugarcane. So red soil. So another one important soil. So distributed in India. So discussed about alluvial soil and black soil. Now red soil. So red soil formation. So decomposition of ancient crystalline rocks like granites and gneisses and from rock type. Yeah, so formed. So red soils are formed from ancient crystalline rocks like granites and gneisses. Yes, the decomposition of ancient crystalline rocks like granite and gneisses and from these rock types. Okay. So red soil chemical properties. So red soil is rich in minerals such as iron and magnesium. Yes, so it is rich in iron. So that's why it is red in color. Yeah, so black soil is why it is black in color means due to the presence of titanium and iron. Yes, red soil. Why it is rich, red in color means due to the presence of iron and magnesium. Yes, so chemical properties rich in minerals such as iron and magnesium, but poor in nitrogen, humus, phosphoric acid, and lime. Yes, so red soil is poor in nitrogen, humus, phosphoric acid, and lime. Yeah. So if you see the three soils, alluvial soil, black soil, and red soil, they are poor in nitrogen. Yeah. Then the nature of the red soil. So they are light texture. Yeah, so they were light in size. So porous, friable. Yeah. So porous, friable means. So porous means. Yeah. Minute interface that allow water to pass. Yeah, so porous means minute, a small size which allow water to pass through it. Okay. Then friable, easily crumble. Yeah. So presence of limited soluble salt. Yeah. So light texture, porous, friable, presence of limited soluble salt. Yeah, so salt may present which are soluble in nature. So clay fraction of the red soil generally consists of kaolinitic minerals. Yeah, so clay fraction means nothing but more than half of the soil look like rock. Yes, so clay fraction of the red soil. Yes, almost half of the soil look like rock. Yes, remaining maybe silt or clay. Okay, so the soil compose and form like a rock-like structure. Yeah, so that is clay fraction. Consists of kaolinitic minerals. See a type of mineral. Yeah, so gray, white in color. Yeah, so nature of red soil is light texture, porous, friable, presence of limited soluble salt. Clay fraction of the red soil generally consists of kaolinitic minerals. That is, so the soil, so red soil sometimes compose together and form like a rock. Yeah, so that rock surface, that soil consists of kaolinitic minerals. Yeah, so where you can find red soil? Yeah, eastern part of Deccan Plateau, southern state of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Chotanagar Plateau. That is in Jharkhand. Okay, so eastern part of Deccan Plateau, southern states of India. That is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and also in North India you can see in Chotanagar Plateau. That is in Jharkhand. Yeah. So the crops grown. So what are the crops grown in red soil? Yeah, wheat, rice, cotton, sugarcane, and pulses. Yes, so the crops grown here are wheat, rice, cotton, sugarcane, and pulses. Then the fourth one, laterite soil. So formation. So formed in the regions where the alternate wet and hot dry conditions prevail. Yes, formed in the regions where alternate wet and hot dry conditions. Yes, so the climate condition will be alternative. Yeah, so that is sometimes wet and sometimes hot. Yeah, so wet and hot dry conditions prevail. It is formed by the process of leaching. So what do you mean by leaching? So bleaching used about liquids. Yeah, so here leaching means so liquids, so that removes chemicals in the soil. Okay, so the laterite soils are formed by the process of leaching. So leaching nothing but when a liquid when passed through a solid remove chemicals from the soil means that process is called as leaching. Yeah, so laterite soils are formed by the process of leaching. Chemical properties. So the composed mainly of hydrated oxides of iron and aluminum. Yes, so the chemical properties of laterite soil was so composed mainly of hydrated oxides of iron and aluminum. Then nature. So nature of laterite soil. So they are more acidic on higher areas, poor in higher level. Yeah, so more acidic on higher areas, poor in higher level, so cannot retain moisture, while plains they consist of heavy loam and clay and easily retain moisture. Yeah, so more acidic on high areas, but in higher level they cannot retain moisture. Okay, but in the plains they can retain moisture. Yeah, so nature of the laterite soil more acidic on higher areas. Okay, so in higher region, they cannot retain moisture, but in plains, they consist of heavy loam and clay and easily retain moisture. So laterite soil in higher region, so in high level region, in higher altitude, they cannot retain moisture. But in plains, they can retain moisture. So because they consist of loam and clay in the plain region. So where you can found the laterite soil? So they are seen in Assam hills, hill summits of Kerala and Karnataka, and eastern Ghats and regions of Odisha. So laterite soil were distributed in Assam hills, hill summits of Kerala and Karnataka, and eastern Ghats and region of Odisha. So the crops grown. So what are the crops grown in laterite soil? Coffee, rubber, cashew nut, and tapioca. So coffee, rubber, cashew nut, and tapioca. So these are the crops grown in laterite soil. So coffee, rubber, cashew nut, and tapioca. Okay, students. In today's class, we discussed about the definition for soil. So soil, uppermost layer of the land surface. So composed of minerals, organic matter, living organism, air, water, etc. Then the types of soil. So who divides the soil of India? Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So when was it established? 1953. So what are the 8 major types of soil? Alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshal soil. In this class we discussed about the first 4 types of soil. Alluvial, black soil, red soil, and laterite soil. So you have any doubt in these types of soil? Try to read well because it is a detailed question. So the very first detail. So the types of soil characteristic feature. So it is the first detail and it is an important detail. So any 5 types of soil in India and explain the characteristics and the distribution of soil. So you have to read this question without fail. So I will give you this question as homework in our later classes. So in today's class, your homework is take page number 168. Fifth Roman letter, answer in brief. First question, define soil. Then second question, name the types of soil found in India. So first question, page number 154. Then second question also, page number 154. Take page number 154. See the heading, soils, 3.1 soil. See in that first point. So soil is the uppermost layer of the land surface, usually composed of minerals, organic matter, living organisms, air and water. So that is the answer for first question. Then second question, types of soil. The Indian Council of Agriculture Research, set up in 1953, divides the soils of India into the following 8 major groups. They are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soil, arid and desert soil, saline and alkaline soil, peaty and marshal soil. So this is the answer for second 2 mark. Okay, marked. Then textbook reading. So read the 4 types of soil with its characteristic feature, distribution and crops growing. So that is alluvial soil, black soil, red soil and laterite soil. So the topic, the soil which we have discussed today. Okay, so go through once again. So go through this soil types repeatedly. Because the chemical composition, the formation may be very confusable one. So because they are very related. So and the points are very confusable one. So read it repeatedly. So that's why you can remember it. Distribution and crops growing easy part. But if you take chemical properties, it may confuse you. So for that only I'm asking to revise it regularly. If you have any doubt in these topics, please contact me. So thank you. Have a nice day.